The following is an excerpt from, For the Hell of It, 13 Spine Tingling Tales of Terror, by Cranny T. Boy. Only a handful of copies were ever produced, and some believe an original and complete copy of the collection no longer exists. I dedicated the past several years of my life tracking down the 13 short stories. My quest led me across all 7 continents until now. Finally, I present to you an audio reading of each of the 13 tales. Be warned. They're not for the easily spooked.
The world was locked in a long cold volcanic winter. Or something. Anyway, it was overcast. I had gone to visit my cousin, Nook. Sitting around a log fire at Nook's villa, we amused ourselves by reading German ghost stories translated into English from the book Phantasmagoriana. Then Nook asked me if I had finished my 13 tales. I was forced to reply with a mortifying negative. We got really drunk and he decided to bet me in a game of roulette. If he won, he would be granted the privilege of writing one of the 13 tales. Well, here it is. I'm sorry.
It was neither a dark or stormy night, but the occurrence was one that still shakes me to this day. The Thompson residence was of mid-18th century design. The townsfolk made very little mention of the house, which was odd given a whole town was built around it only 5 years back. Nevertheless, no one dare look at the property for reasons not apparent. I, on the other hand, am an advocate for the activity of house looking, and knew right away there had to be some sort of treasure inside. As to the contents that remained to be determined, if I had to guess, some sick-ass plasma screens and maybe a hard drive or two. Could they be the fancy kind you can use for both Windows and Macintosh? I just had to find out. Getting inside was not a problem. The house seemed to beckon me inside with its stature and its doors wide open. I meandered inside to find a cool interior, which is a play on words as the room was very interesting and also at the low end of 50 degrees. I was reminded of the 3 bears that lay waste to Goldilocks' home and that I had committed a felony and I was dreadfully tired, so I moseyed down to the basement looking for a bed. After fumbling in the dark I found a nice cold slab to catch some Z's on. Needless to say, what I saw when I woke up would change my life forever. It was an army of Frankensteins. Okay, that's not entirely true. It was maybe like five Frankensteins. It was horrific, and yes, I do mean like the doctor, not the monster. They were all working on an assortment of assorted body parts and sewing all sorts of things to doodads. There was also a ghost, and 3 witches, but I only saw 2. I didn't really care about those as much as these scientists, as they really surprised me the most. I fled from the scene as quickly as I could, and I never returned to that town. It's been 5 years since I last stepped foot in the town, as well as the town's 5-year anniversary, and on its eve I wonder what I might take away from the whole situation. I suppose if anything, it's that life is constantly moving and sometimes it takes you away from the things that matter most and that fate is cruel and uncertain. I suppose what's most important is that we make time for the haunted houses in our lives. They won't be around forever.